Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Leaders Talk program. We are thrilled to have you join us today. You can stream this program live on our YouTube channel, USIM TV. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Before we begin, let us recite Kitab Al-Fatihah.
Iya kan.
The Honorable Professor Dato Technologist Dr. Sharifuddin Mat-SHAARANI, Vice Chancellor of University Science Islam Malaysia, distinguished guest speaker, the Honorable Professor Dr. K.H. HAMID FAHMY ZARKASYI, Rector of Universitas Darussalam GONTOR Indonesia, university lecturers, intellectuals, students, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Leaders Talk program. The highlights of today's program are to create a platform for sharing knowledge from experts, delivering insights and ideas, and also transforming perspectives, particularly in the areas of Islam, education, and global issues. This event also provides an opportunity for participants to explore future insights into empowering Muslims in the contemporary world. In celebration of USIM's 25 years of excellence next year, we have organized this talk to bring together intellectuals who will share their knowledge and wisdom. This will help USIM address new challenges and seize opportunities in the realm of Islamic higher education with the aim of becoming a global reference in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, this event would be more delightful with the opening remarks made by Honorable Vice Chancellor of USIM. Without further ado, I would like to invite the Honorable Professor Dato Technologist Dr. Sharifuddin Mat-SHAARANI, Vice Chancellor of USIM, to deliver a speech. Please welcome, sir.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi ajma'in. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli, amma ba'd. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera, salam integrasi ilmu nakli dan akli, salam Malaysia Madani. Yang saya kasihi Bapak Profesor Dr. K.H. HAMID FAHMY ZARKASYI, Dr. Yang Berusaha Dr. FAUZIAH, Pengarah USIM ALAMIYYAH, ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, Alhamdulillah, praise to the mighty Allah. With Allah's blessing that we can be here, although it's in virtual terms, but Alhamdulillah, we can see each other in this a very meaningful program. My name is Sharifuddin Mat-SHAARANI, the Vice Chancellor, University Science Islam Malaysia. I would like to extend my heartfelt thank you and congratulations to USIM ALAMIYYAH, or the International Office led by Dr. FAUZIAH, for hosting today's Leaders Talk program in collaboration with Universitas Darussalam GONTOR Indonesia. It is just like 2-3 days ago, I was speaking to my registrar, saying that it is being a long time that USIM, haven't go to ataupun it's quite a long time USIM hasn't been to GONTOR. Kan? Lama sudah Bapak USIM tidak datang ke GONTOR.
Welcome.
InsyaAllah. And then we were planning, InsyaAllah, sekiranya tidak tahun ini, mungkin awal tahun depan. InsyaAllah, there will be somebody from a group of us will go to GONTOR. I think we have a beautiful relationship between USIM and UNIDA. And this relationship we must preserve, and we must keep it tight between us, especially between, two Islamic universities that uphold the Islamic principles. As we know, as I mentioned just now, the collaborations between USIM and UNIDA has established for a long time. And, throughout the years, we have our MOU, or the Memorandum of Understanding. and has continued to thrive ever since. And I'm confident with our institutions' engagement in numerous collaborative efforts, throughout the academic activities, the research activities, and other students, either formally or informally. One of the collaborative networking that I was informed is through the IICRO consortium. Inshallah, when we meet, Prof, I would like to speak more about this consortium. But for today, I think it is a good start, to pick up back where we left. And also for today, I am delighted, to invite Bapak Prof, Rektor dan seluruh warga UNIDA untuk datang ke USIM. InsyaAllah.
InsyaAllah.
The Leaders Talk program is a program which features leadership from selected institutions to deliver topics related to areas of expertise, and this program will involve leadership figures from USIM's networking and cooperative partners and the global level. Again, to Bapak Professor Dr. HAMID FAHMY ZARKASYI, I would like to extend my warmest thank you for being agreed to accept the invitation from USIM, and also to spend your precious time to share your expertise this morning through the topic of Al-Attas concept of Islamization of contemporary knowledge. As we know that Al-Attas is a renowned Muslim scholar and Muslim philosopher for his thoughts. Buah selasih, buah kelubi di dalam dulang hidangan pagi. Terima kasih daun keladi bila diundang, sudilah diterima lagi.
InsyaAllah.
Kami berterima kasih atas hubungan jangka panjang yang positif dengan USIM dan sangat berharap dapat membuatkan kolaborasi tersebut lebih jauh di masa akan datang, sehingga terus dapat dibangunkan ikatan kemitraan dan juga yang bermanfaat dan saling mendukung. Sekian, terima kasih. Wabillahi taufiq hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Dr. Fauziah, mikrofon Dr. Fauziah tutup.
Thank you to the Honorable Professor, Dato' Technologist Dr. SHARIFUDIN SHAARANI for the speech given. Ladies and gentlemen, the next agenda is the keynote address session. I am honored to invite our distinguished guest speaker, the Honorable Professor Dr. K.H. Hamid Fahmy Zarkasyi, Rector of Universitas Darussalam GONTOR, Indonesia. Before we begin, let me provide a brief overview of his impressive credentials. Professor Dr. Zarkasyi is a professor of Islamic philosophy at University Darussalam GONTOR, a position he has held since 2020 as decreed by the Ministry of Education of the Republic of Indonesia. He earned his PhD from the International Institute of Islamic Thought and Civilization (ISTAC) at the International Islamic University Malaysia (IIUM) in 2006. He also holds a Master of Philosophy from the Faculty of Theology at the University of Birmingham, United Kingdom in 1998. Additionally, he completed his undergraduate studies at the Faculty of Islamic Education, Darussalam Institute Islamic Studies, GONTOR in 1982. Professor Dr. Zarkasyi has an extensive background in academic work, having presented over 40 papers at both local and international conferences. Without further ado, please join me in welcoming the Honorable Professor Dr. K.H. Hamid Fahmy Zarkasyi to deliver his speech entitled Al-Attas Concept of Islamization of the Contemporary World. Please welcome, Prof.
I think you should make me co-host first, then I can share my slide.
All right, okay.
Still cannot share my slide.
Right. Okay, done, Prof.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh wa na'udzu billahi min syururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina may yahdihillahu fala mudhillalah wa man yudlil fala hadiyalah. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Amma ba'du. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yang berhormat Profesor Dr. Syarifuddin Mat Syarani, Rektor University Sains Malaysia. Mudah-mudahan kita boleh berjumpa dekat GONTOR ataupun kita boleh berjumpa dekat Malaysia. It's very long relation between USIM and UNIDA. I think because of COVID-19 we separated and very little activities we have done so far. Thank you for the International Relation Office of USIM for inviting me this precious talk and a very important topic that we have to share together. And thank you for the audiences. I saw that in YouTube is many participants involving in this talk. The topic that I'm going to present here is a Al-Attas concept of Islamization of contemporary knowledge, because I was graduated from there, and I know, as far as I know, this is the concept that Al-Attas always talk to many people in many places also. So in very short presentation and very simple one, I hope there will be some discussion on this. There are three elements of sciences that has been discussed by many scholars of science or epistemology. There are three layers of sciences. First is theories, second paradigm, and the third is worldview. This especially when we refer to Thomas Kuhn or we refer to Imre Lakatos. This is the three element of science is the object of Islamization, or the thing that the scholar emphasize on these 3 points: paradigm, worldview, paradigm, discipline, or theories. Now let us review the definition presented by at least 3 scholars that I choose very selectively. What is meant by Islamization referring to worldview? Islamization as a reformation and transformation movement, internally reform movement and externally transformation movement. It is understanding, realization, and commitment to the worldview of Islam. The point that I emphasize here is commitment to the worldview of Islam, where knowledge founded on divinity and sound in morality excel in wisdom and efficiency. So the point that emphasized by Rafiqul Islam here is that Islamization emphasize on the commitment to the worldview of Islam. So the point that is very important in the process of Islamization is understanding the worldview of Islam and bringing all concept, knowledge, theories into Islamic worldview. The other definition from Professor Muhammad Kamal Hassan: this is alternative paradigm for pursuing, teaching, developing, organizing, disseminating, utilizing, and evaluating contemporary human knowledge in accordance with the worldview, fundamental ethical values, and norm of Islam. Here, Professor Kamal emphasized on paradigm. Well, paradigm is different from worldview, but here, Professor Kamal also mentioned that it is related to the worldview or ethical values or norm of Islam. So there's 2 points already we have mentioned here. First is the worldview, second is paradigm. The third one is discipline. Imaduddin Khalil, Islamization of discipline. So Islamization is dealing with Islamization of, for example, economic, Islamization of sociology, Islamization of psychology, and so on, which to be done by specialists of those disciplines by discovering, compiling, piecing together, communicating and publishing intellectual activity based on Islamic concept of life, man, and universe. So this is what he meant by Islamic concept of life, man, and universe is nothing other than the worldview. So Islamization in this sense can be regarded as the Islamization of concept, Islamization of theories in a discipline of knowledge. So these 3 points that we mentioned can be picturized like this: worldview producing paradigm, paradigm producing theories, concept, or discipline, and this is science. So when we talk about science, whether Islamic or not Islamic, all theories, concept of science is subject to validation. It's very interesting thing here. We have to mention that when we talk about theories in the West, theories always validated by other theories. This is the symbol of the development of science. However, all theories, all concepts are based on paradigm. When we refer to Thomas Kuhn, when a scientist want to change the theories, there should be anomaly, there should be a problem of normal science, and then they must introduce what we call new paradigm. So Thomas Kuhn theory of shift of paradigm is actually changing the concept theories in that science into new paradigm. Now, when we refer to what is presented by Imre Lakatos, there are another thing other than paradigm. He call it a core, the core. I mean, the worldview. So Imre Lakatos have the theory that the worldview in the Western sciences or in the Western scientists produce paradigm, and the paradigm produce theories and concept. Therefore, when we talk about Islamization of contemporary knowledge, we have to deal with paradigm, we have to deal with the worldview, and we have to deal theories and concept. Now, for example, here when we put Islam and the West, West office, and put, for example, Western secular concept, principle, presupposition, and theories, we will find that there are sciences or discipline of knowledge which are secular, especially this the science or the knowledge, the discipline of humanities, like sociology, economic, psychology, political science. All are those secular human sciences in the West are based on the Western worldview. In Islam, we have also worldview, which is very different from Western worldview. We have concept, principle, presupposition, or theories in different discipline of knowledge in Islam, and we have Islamic sciences. When we talk about falak, ilmul falak, we have to say that this is science. When we talk about the for example, iktisad, for example, this is Islamic economic. So we actually have our own sciences, and the West also, they have their own sciences. However, what has been invented in the West could be fully secular and could be partly secular. So we have to scrutinize whether the theory, the concept, or the principle in the Western science are really against Islam, or could be some of them are against Islam and some other are not. What is the definition of Islamization of Professor Nakib Al-Attas? Islamization is a liberation of human intellectual from doubt, magical, mythological, animistic thought, and national cultural tradition, secular thought opposed to Islam. what is meant by liberation? Liberation means to get away, to put away all this magical, mythological, animistic, and rational or secular one into out of the Islamic thought. So, what is meant by liberation of human intellect? Liberation of human intellect. This is meant by Al-Attas is liberation of Muslim mind from this dogmatical, mythological, animistic. This means that the Islamization for Naqib Al-Attas is Islamization of worldview in the first step. And then when we refer to that definition, we can summarize the step of Islamization of Professor Naqib Al-Attas into three important steps. First is the Westernization. Number two is integration. Number three is Islamization. So number 2 and 3 is like synthesis. This is the full definition. The Westernization is isolating, removing key element and concept formed by Western culture and civilization. The 5 elements previously mentioned from every field of modern science today, especially in humanities. However, the natural, physical, and applied science must also be Islamized, especially the interpretation of fact and formulation of theories. So in this sense, Professor Al-Attas emphasized on humanities rather than on physical or natural sciences, because natural sciences always following the what we call in Islam is sunnatullah, natural, what is that? The nature, natural law. Natural law in Islam is equal to sunnatullah. So natural law and sunnatullah is almost the same. I mean, the scientist always and must follow the natural law, and that will be good for the scientists to find theories regarding the physical or natural sciences or applied sciences. But the problem of these natural sciences is about the interpretation of fact and formulation of theories. Like, for example, the idea of evolution in Darwin theory of evolution is basically there's no problem with the evolution, because in the universe there are evolution. There are the process of evolution. But the problem is that the interpretation of the universe, that the universe is not created, is problematic for Darwin theory. So in this sense, Professor Al-Attas want to warn us that the formulation of theories of the universe should be criticized. So what should be criticized in the Western knowledge or science? Al-Attas mentioned in his prolegomena, our evaluation must entail critical examination of the method, number 1. Number 2, concept. Number 3, presupposition. Number 4, empirical and rational aspect. Values and related to values and ethics, interpretation of origin, theory of knowledge, presupposition of existence of external worlds. So here I put it in numbers, rational of rational process, theory of universe. What is meant by number 6? Number 6 is actually dealing with like causality, whether cause and effect is because of natural law or because of the will of God. This is very small question, but this is big problem for the Muslim. If the Muslim say that the universe operate by itself, I mean causality has nothing to do with God, so it is very secular. This is what the point that subject to evaluation and critical examination is this. So many things that we have to criticize from Western Western science. The concept which is un-Islamic, like this, believing in mythology actually is believing in something metaphysical. Believing in magic also metaphysical. Therefore, if you want to Islamize those concepts of their belief, we have to introduce the concept of God, the concept of knowledge, the concept of life, the concept of morality, brotherhood, universe, so many things that we deal with this Western secular concept. One may ask about the magic and mythological aspect of Western worldview. You know, even the West nowadays, when they are already sophisticated in their knowledge, but some of the people, Western people, still believe in magic, still believe in mythology, still believe in something unseen, but they don't believe in God. This is very astonishing, I think. So we have to change, we have to transform the secular Western thought into the Islamic one. This is the process of the Westernization. We have to transform, we have to change. Now, the second step is integration of knowledge, integration of concept, integration of theories, perhaps. What is meant by integration is incorporating important concept of secular Western science with the Islamic one. By way, number one, knowing the positive and negative element of theories and concept in secular Western sciences. Knowing negative and positive element is not something easy. One cannot say that it is positive or negative unless he knows Islamic theory or concept. So it is important for those who want to carry out the Islamization process should know Islamic thought first, then to examine whether the Western concept are Islamic or not. If they have already known the negative element of theories or concept Western sciences, then they have to discard the negative one. Then after discarding the negative one, he has to explain the positive one in accordance with Islamic concept or theories. So why we say that, for example, banking system are positive in Islam? We have to explain that. And number four, integrating the positive concept with the relevant concept in Islamic worldview. Integrating positive concept in the West, when we say that, for example, the theory of welfare in the West is relevant to the theory of falah in Islam. Theory of falah, then we have to explain what is welfare all about in the Western economic theory. And then we have to explain also the concept of falah in Islam. And then we integrate what is the positive thing in the Western concept of welfare with the Islamic one. This is what we mean by integration. What it should be infused into the Western concept. Some of this Al-Attas mentioned in many things: concept of deen, concept of human being, concept of knowledge, concept of justice, deed, human soul, akal, and so many things. It depends on which science we are dealing with. For example, when we talk about the concept of human development in Western psychology, we want to integrate the 2 point, the 2 theory or 2 concept. We have to deal with the theory of human being in Islam. And of course, they're involved in this discussion about the concept of justice, individual justice, not social justice, individual justice in relation to development of human soul or human self. This is what we mean by integration. So, for example, when we talk about, when we talk about human being. In the West, they have the theory and concept of soul, intellect, body, and body and soul relation. In Islam, we have also what we call nafas. We have also akal. When we talk about these two concepts from different civilization, Islam and the West, then we have to make some analysis whether the concept of soul in the West is actually similar to the concept of nafas or not. Whether akal in Islam equal to the concept of intellect in the West. This is the work that we have to do when we are going to Islamize the Western theory and concept. Comparison, analysis, synthesis is the process that we cannot avoid for the Islamization of contemporary knowledge. Like also sociology, when we talk about justice in relation to social justice, is very different with justice in Islam. Social justice in Islam, for example, is not simply we have distributing the thing or economic welfare into all the people with similar amount. It's not the way that we are understanding the word adl in Islam. Justice, to do justice to the people in the West is also something very different from Islam. So we have to compare between the two and finding the positive, negative one from this concept, and then we integrate with the positive one with Islamic theory of justice, for example. Last one, you have to do Islamization. Integration is not always complete. But integration is something that we can do in the first step. Like, for example, Islamic banking nowadays, or Sharia banking in Indonesia, we call Bank Syariah Islam. It's not Islamic. Banking system in Islam and banking system in capitalism is cannot really be integrated, because there are still a procedure in the Islamic banking which is almost equal with the capitalist banking system. So in the future, it is not no problem we have this kind of integration in the banking system. But in the future, the banking system should be further Islamized in order to purify the theory and concept that came from the Western capitalism. So Islamization is actually the purification of integrated theories and concepts, so that these theories and concepts become more purely Islamic. So this is the last process of Islamization, where we have to introduce a new concept which did not exist before. This is very, very important. In UNIDA GONTOR, I give this kind of task into our PhD student here in the Department of Theology and Philosophy, and I asked them to take one concept from Western civilization and then make it some process of integration, and then finally has to find out what is the new system that can be introduced as the result of that integration. There can be new term that can be introduced into academician because of this. Therefore, the process of the Westernization, integration, and Islamization are the process that we required in our program of Islamization and contemporary knowledge. The step is this. The step is evaluating theories, concept resulting from integration, enriching with verses from the Quran and Hadith, as well as theories and concept of ulama, our scholars. And number 3, introducing new theories and concepts that can answer the problem of Western science. So I think this is also the step that taken by Ismail Raji Al-Faruqi, that when we Islamize certain concepts and theories, we should also find out whether this theory and concept can solve the problem of Western science. Yeah. Then finally, producing new renewable Islamic concept, which is useful not only for the Muslim, because we believe that Islamic teaching is universal. Therefore, when we Islamize Western, even Western secular theories and concept, we still can claim that this theory is also useful, can be used by Western non-Muslim people, because we believe that values in Islam is universal. What is good in Islam is good for human being. This is what I think what we mean by rahmatan lil alamin. Islam is useful for all inhabitant of the universe. Like for example here, when we deal with the education in the West, people always say that university is industry. University is industry which is impactful on economy. It is again Islam, again Islamic teaching. University is a institution for producing human universal men. So if we university is like industry, people come and go and pay, and then producing some kind of economic results, we forget that the mission of university is not producing universal men. The other thing is that in the West, the objective of education is for becoming good citizen. Nothing else in the West. Good citizen is the citizen who pursue the knowledge and graduate on time, and then get the job easily and get the money, and can build a family and then pay the tax, and can live in the society. This is good citizen. But in Islam, the goal of education is to produce men who have adab. To talk about adab is a long theory, and that we have to discuss another session, of course. Education is to produce men who have adab, not simply citizen. And the person who has a good adab is inclusively become good citizen. So Islamizing the theory or the concept of education, Western education, is part of the process of Islamization. So many things involved in the discussion of system of education. There can be concept, there can be theories, and so many things involved. Therefore, Islamization, a process, it's not Islamization of the whole sciences. It is someone or one student may do only one concept and contribute that one concept into a discipline of knowledge. So when we talk about Islamization, I think we need a scientific community who will carry out so many on Islamization of so many concepts and theories. And then when the theories and concepts accumulate into a big accumulation of body of knowledge, then it becomes Islamic. Like economic nowadays, one cannot imagine in 1970, 1960, nobody can talk about Islamic economic. Nobody. Why? Because no one start researching, writing about the concept of Islamic economic. Nobody compare, for example, Western capitalism and Islamic economic. And then after gradually, after some decade, so 3 decades or 4 decades, when the people talk about Islamic economic, and then Islamic management, talking about Islamic welfare, Islamic human resource, and so many things, then the accumulation of that theory and concept become a discipline of knowledge. So this is the the result of Islamization in our in nowadays society of university or academic society is the existence or the coming up of the discipline of Islamic economic because of long way or gradual process of Islamization. Like this, for example, in politics, some secular people say that end justifies mean. Tujuan politik this is in secular way. In Islam, when we talk about politik must be based on Sharia. No one can have a good intention and doing something bad, like in the West. Yeah, people try to help other people, but he rob the wealth of other people. Man is the measure everything. The measure of everything is very famous philosophy in the West. So the measure of everything is man, not God anymore in the West. In Islam, what is wrong and right, good and bad is depend on what is said in our holy scripture, in the Quran. So very different. So this is a simple example of the secular and Islamic one. When we talk about Islamization, we have to do away with this philosophy, and then we take to the Islamic one. What is the definition of bad, halal and haram? In the West, no term of halal and haram, and we have to explain this all in the process of Islamization. So what we done in UNIDA is this. So for all the students in the undergraduate level, we introduce them the worldview of Islam. And in some department of like humanities and sciences, we introduce the paradigm of Western science, and as much as possible, introducing the paradigm of Islamic one. Like for example, paradigm of Islamic political science in the West should be put vis-a-vis with the paradigm of Islamic political science. And then we turn into the concept, theories and methodologies, and we have to change the concept, integrate the concept, evaluate first, critically evaluate the concept, theories and methodologies, and then we have to integrate with Islamic one. So science, Islamic science can be produced when we have this worldview paradigm and the process of Islamization of theories and concept. So the conclusion is this: the Islamization of contemporary sciences, the object will be Islamized must be very clear. So what concept do we want to Islamize should be very, very clear. What is more important in the world is the worldview of the subject who will carry out the process of Islamization. The subject should know Islam first before he carrying out the process of Islamization, of course. Number three, the process of Islamization consisting of the Westernization, integration, and purification. Number four, the Islamization of secular Western science require collaboration between Islamic studies expert and modern science expert. So what I mean by knowing Islam before Islamizing the Western science mean that the one who is expert on, for example, food technology should collaborate with the people who are expert on Sharia. Someone want to Islamize natural science, for example, should collaborate with the people of Islamic philosophy. This is what I mean with collaboration of Islamic studies expert and modern science expert. Number 5, the Islamization of science is different from Islamization of technology. So we need another explanation here, but I will stop from this. That we have to remember Islamization consists of the Westernization, integration, and purification or Islamization. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, thank you very much to our distinguished guest speaker for the remarkable and enlightening session. We are now open floor to questions. If any participants have thoughts, ideas, or questions they would like to share, please feel free to do so either at the comment section at the YouTube channel. Thank you so much, Prof. So we are waiting for about 5 to 10 minutes if there are any questions from the audience.
Okay.
So tadi natin may food. Okay, sorry.
Assalamualaikum Pak Prof. Saya boleh tanyakan soalan?
Yes.
Okay. Ada soalan dari Biblio Sound. Okay. Is there any difference between integration and unification of knowledge, Prof?
Okay. I don't use the word unification because when unified knowledge, secular knowledge with the Islamic one, the question is which part of the knowledge that you want to unify. Unification is something like putting things together, like a melting pot. So I don't think that we can put Islamic knowledge, Islamic theory or concept with the Western one, which is not compatible with Islam. So I think unification is a little bit more tolerant to something that are against Islam. So like that one, when we accept the word man is the measure of everything, when we unified into Jabariyah, for example, it is not possible. Yeah, or Qadariyah, for example. So I don't think this is a proper term that we can use in the process of Islamization of contemporary knowledge. Okay.
All right.
Other question?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you, Prof, for the answer. Okay. We're still waiting. If there are other questions from the floor.
In the chat, for example, maybe someone write something in the chat.
Yeah. There is one question from Mr. Nasruddin. In what ways does Al-Attas concept of Islamization of knowledge seek to preserve Islamic identity in a globalized world? Silakan, Prof.
Okay. There are so many concepts in Islam that can be introduced into the universe or the global, into the globe. And of course, nowadays, we have, what's the thing that we have to do is this. We cannot explain simply Islam as such. We have to explain Islam within the context of Western civilization. For example, when we talk about a prayer, for example, Salat. Now, Salat is something very strange in the West, of course. Many times I was asked by the Western people, what is the use of Salat? Now, when we talk about the purification of the soul, that the Western people, some of Western people nowadays do, like yoga and a new age, and people doing some spiritual imagination or spiritual process. When we explain Islam in terms of this spiritual or purification, I think it will be very good, including what we call generosity in Islam, like giving infaq, sedekah, sodako, wakaf, zakat. If we talk this into the Western people, put this in the Western people, we have to explain in terms of social justice. So we can do that. But when we are in the place where we are dealing with the people who are not Muslim, we have to use the language which is also used by the Western people. This is the way we have to do that. And many times, Professor Al-Attas also explained that what is good in Islam is not always good in terms of Western concept and theories. So we have to explain in Islamic, based on Islamic theories, doctrine, theology, but we have to use the language that the Western people use that. Like in our history, Muslim take the term, perhaps concept, or perhaps the term, the language used by the Greek. The Greek people use the word essence, existence, variable. We can borrow this concept and use it in term or based on the Islamic concept. I think this is the thing very normal in our civilization. Okay, another question.
Thank you so much, Prof. So we wait if there is, at least we have, we take another one question.
Right.
Okay, Prof, this is maybe the last question.
Yep.
Okay, from Biblio. How to identify between Western concept and Islamic one? Such as you mentioned in other lecture that Prof. Al-Attas don't agree with occasionalism. Instead, the concept causality is more accurate.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is my dissertation actually.
All right.
Yeah. Occasionalism is actually the idea of the church that God occasionally come into the earth, into into the earth. And in Islam, when we compare with this doctrine, in Islam, God is always with human being. So there's two terms, I think, when we understand our God. Number one is God is transcendent. Transcendent means laisa kamitslihi syai'un. And number one, God is immanent. Immanent means that God with us. In the verse of the Quran, it is said, wa huwa aqrabu min hablil warid, closer to our nerve. So this is two concepts that exists in Islam and not in other religion. And then when we talk about causality, yeah, cause and effect, according to the Aristotelian doctrine, is something necessary. It must. Cause must bring the effect. This is from Greek teaching. And of course, Western scientists now follow this doctrine that cause bring the effect. But when we question about the possibility, whether the possibility of cause bring the effect 100% or maybe 90% or 50%, the reality is not proving 100%. Like, for example, when we say whether the fire burn the papers. Now, when we say that, yes, it must burn the papers, 100%. What if the paper is wet? It is impossible to burn the papers. This is so many things that we have to question. Like, for example, the blind man cannot see anything. Then he get the operation in the hospital, for example, and then he can see. The question whether the cause of being able to see everything is his eye. The question is not. Yes, the eye can see everything, but when we bring the person into the dark place or room, he cannot see anything. So the cause of being able to see anything is not only the eye, but also the light, the sun, and so many things. So the cause should be should not be only one. It should be many things. And Al-Ghazali introduced one aspect of that cause is the will of God. This is the simple way to understand causality in Islam and in the West. I think you should read my book. Okay, thank you.
Right. Okay, Prof, thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much, Prof, for your excellent response, and thank you also to those who are asking. Okay, we appreciate that. May all the participants benefit from today's program, and may the knowledge shared bring blessings to the Ummah and our faith, inshallah. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of our program. On behalf of the organizing committee, we are truly humbled by the presence of everyone at this program, and thank you very much for your support. With that, I end this program with wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you so much to the distinguished guest, Professor Dr. Hamid. May we can collaborate in the future, inshallah. Thank you so much, Prof.
Yes, convey my salam to your Vice Chancellor.
Sure. Inshallah. Assalamualaikum, Prof.
Waalaikumsalam.